One thing that I've developed here in the last semester or so is what I call the weekly assessment. And I find this to be a convenient way to send out a weekly assessment to students, help students stay on track, and to work their way through the class. And so let's go through and talk about how we would set that up. First of all, we would go to our class here, and then we would click Assessment. What we'll do then is New Scheduled Assessment. And the next screen will come up. Now typically what I like to do here is to put the due date. And my common practice here is to set this up 1 week from today. So today is February the 20th, so I'm going to have this test due February 27, okay, 2013. Now, we will check progress assessment, and then down here the start and the end dates. Well, obviously it's going to end on the 27th. I'm going to have it start today, and I like to have these start. My typical way is to have them start halfway through the class period, or at least one half hour after class begins. So I usually have these changed during class. And that way, in case I forget to do it, I can still get it done during class time when I'm logged on. But let's say today that I've got my class at 12:30, and so I'm going to set up this test for 1 o'clock. Okay, so I'm going to have this test start at 1 o'clock, and there we go, 1 o'clock p.m. Notice it's not to be taken at school only. This click here is only for the testing room. So they're going to just take it during class or anywhere they are, and so I'll just leave that there. It's going to be due next week on the 27th, okay, and we will have that due at 12. Let's have that due at 12:59, and so that test runs out then 1 week, and then the next test, well, actually I'll set up one the following week that'll begin there on the 27th and then run through the start of the next month. So that's a good way to manage that, I think, and that way there's a test out there every week for students. They'll always have a test waiting for them soon, and so that cuts down. They used to ask me for tests, and I still send a few of those on request, but this way it takes care of most of it, and if they're careful about working their test, they will do the best that they can on that. On other settings here, this will go to the entire class this time because it's the weekly class test. I usually let them choose when they want to start it after it's available. It will appear on their assignment screen when a test is there, and they can take it whenever. So basically the rest of these are defaults. I don't check anything else basically. I'll just set those down through there and just click save, and then that test will go to their calendar. You can see it on your side on the calendar. In fact, let's look at that. Notice over here it shows that you have an assignment set up. You can go to the course calendar and look and see where that test is. You can see where we started, where it's ending. Students themselves can see that. They can look at their calendar and they can see when they have tests, and so it's a good way. It puts it out there where everyone can see that. So that's how I set up the weekly tests for all ALEKS classes.